We are here because we are dedicated to helping the entire CrossFit community. Determined to elevate coaches, box owners, athletes, and everything in between, we believe that this mission will begin right here, right now. While this time and this goal begins with you, our hope is that you take this fire ignited within you and weave it into your own life with the same unrelenting passion to give those you have the privilege of coming in contact with the best hour of their day.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the best hour of their day. And to most of your enjoyment, everybody, Jay will not be with us today. I'm here with a much better co-host, Dave from O2. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, and I appreciate setting the bar low from the outset. I always like
There's
that.
a lot of jokes. There's a lot of jokes there. There's a lot of jokes there. Yeah, at the low bar, Jay. Yeah, dude, we've been kind of going back and forth over the past couple of weeks trying to catch up and rolling out something that you guys have been a pilot of, and so we'll talk about that. But just what's going on with O2, man? What's the deal,
dude? It's
oh yeah, congrats. Hold on, I want to stop you there. Congrats on the Inc. 5000, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that was a big one. That was a big one, and that's that doesn't do anything really to the needle on the business.
Yeah, but it makes me sound important. I'm like, yeah, I've got a buddy who is an Inc. 5000. They're like, oh wow.
I'm very proud.
Your apartment must smell of rich mahogany, and I'm like, it does. It does.
If only we could smell the blood and the sweat and the tears that led into that behind the scenes. But it's a nice, as an entrepreneur, I've always wanted to make that list, and it's cool to make that list.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
We were, and when we got notified about that program and that we were in that program, I want to say a couple months ago or so.
I remember seeing it like a couple weeks ago. It came up and I think you guys probably sent an email. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, I'm sure we sent several probably. But I think second week of August is when we were able to announce it to the world.
Okay.
But we had to go through this whole vetting process with them. I mean, they want to see financials and everything else. And so I knew we had made the list, but they don't tell you what place you are. They don't tell you like where you fall in the 5,000, just that you're in the 5,000 until the week that you announce it. So I was happy to see that we weren't 5,000th. We were 1,029th.
You're like, we weren't last.
We were last. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I told my team. Like, as long as we're not last, then I'm going to be happy. But we were top 20%. It's pretty good.
No, that's fucking great, dude.
Thanks, man.
Top 20%, man. I'd take that all day long.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, oh shit, I'm in. Take it.
Admittedly, when I originally thought it, I thought it was 500. I was like, damn, a baller. Yeah. I was like, I like it. Close.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we're only 500 over.
That's awesome. What else is going on with you guys? I know I saw last time I physically saw you was at the games.
That was fun, man.
Yeah. How long you weren't there for the weekend though, were you?
I was just there for a cup of coffee, basically.
Oh shit. Okay.
I got in on Wednesday, and then I left on Friday. And when I got in, I don't know if you remember this or if you were exposed to this at all, but I went out to camp with a buddy, and he had a campsite.
Okay.
And I got in around 5:00 on Wednesday late afternoon, and I'm setting up my tent at his campsite, and the guy next door is like, hey pal, you probably don't want to put that there. And I'm like, what the hell? He's just giving me shit for whatever reason. I'm like, why? He's like, well, they just said that they're going to evacuate the entire campsite and put everybody in the Coliseum. Like, what are you talking about?
What?
Like, why? Yeah, this happened. They evacuated the campsite on Wednesday night. There were hundreds of people staying at that campsite, and they did it. My first thought was like, oh, is this COVID related or is this like a terrorist thing or something? But they did it because of a weather threat, high winds. And I guess there was a tornado warning.
Oh, that's right. There was. Yeah, no, now that you say that, I remember that there was a pretty significant storm that evening.
It was pretty big. It was pretty big. And I didn't have a backup plan. I just had a tent, and that's it. And so thankfully, one of my great buddies, Dale, Dale King.
King, yeah.
Yeah. He was actually our first wholesaler of O2, and subsequently he's become good friends. He was
Doc Spartan, everybody. Shout out. Use code best hour, but don't buy all the shit Jay tells you to buy. Just buy the eye stuff. Right?
That stuff as well. That stuff works wonders. He had a room at what was the fancy hotel that they put all the staff at?
Oh, the Edgewater?
Yeah, the Edgewater. And
that's places way bigger than people think, because there's a new Edgewater and then there's like an old Edgewater. You would never know. They're like catty corner to each other. I've stayed in so many hotels. I don't really care about hotels. What was convenient about the Edgewater, which is not this would have most hotels there have, was it has a restaurant.
Dude, it's a nice restaurant too.
Well, I actually don't care if it's nice or not. All the previous years, you finish the day, you're smoked. Mm-hmm. You may have gotten some stuff from Whole Foods or not. I don't know, which that's, by the way, we could talk about that. That's always a funny trip in Madison, going to Whole Foods. But so if I don't have that, then I have to go walk somewhere to get food, which I have zero desire to do at that time in the evening. So that was like, for me, the biggest thing. People are like, the Edgewater? I'm like, restaurant. Like, that's all I give a shit about. Like, I can eat and then walk 4 minutes back to my room. That was like the biggest plus for me, because I don't really care. I mean, I've stayed in like nice hotel. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nothing you got to like write home about,
Noble branded the elevators, which I thought was a nice.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did a good job with that. I thought as somebody who owns we'll call it a large brand, what were your thoughts on Noble's branding in general at the games?
Oh, they did a great job. I thought they did a really good job. I mean, again, I wasn't there for too long, but my first impression was at the Edgewater, which they branded, which I thought that was really clever and really well executed. And then at the games, the last time that I was at the games as a spectator was probably 2017.
Okay.
So most of the time when we're at the games, I'm working. And so
17 was that the first? No, that wasn't even Madison, was it?
No, it was. I think that was the
first year. Yeah. Okay.
But I remember Reebok had a huge tent that year. And this past year, Noble took over that huge tent. And I can't remember what Reebok's execution looked like within that tent, but Noble's was solid. It was really good.
Somebody was telling me about that tent. I did not step foot in that one or Rogues this first time ever. I did not make it over there, but they told me the way they set it up was they had everything playing on the big screen there. So like you could just sit down and people were just hanging out there and watching, and they were like, oh, I'm going to go buy some shoes. Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say it's safe to say that company kind of knows what it's doing when it comes to marketing. And
listen, I want to give them shout out for the most brilliant strategy of all time, which is make one shoe and then give it 48,000 different colors.
And I have at least 24,000 of them. It's a good shoe. First, it's a good shoe. I won't say it's the best training shoe that's ever been made, but it's a pretty solid shoe. It's a damn good shoe.
I'm wearing a pair right now. So I actually like their kind of like more casual shoes. So like I've got this it's like a tan canvas.
I have the same one. I wore
them. Great minds, dude. I mean, I see where you're at.
They don't look like a gym shoe.
Right. That's why I bought them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wear sweatpants and t-shirts for a living. So I'm like, I would like to have something that doesn't look like a tennis shoe.
That is why I'm such a Noble collector. Not even a collector, but why I have more than one pair of Noble shoes is because this is super vain to say out loud, but because they look good, and if I'm traveling,
that's not vain. That is the only reason people buy apparel. Nobody buys apparel. Be like, give me the shittiest shoe you got in here. Like, you know what? What's the ugliest piece of crap that you guys could put on my body?
When they started out, I think this was like 2014 or 2015.
I don't even know.
They did have just one shoe, if memory serves.
Right. Yeah.
One color. And I liked it then. It wasn't the best designed shoe visually, but it didn't look like a gym shoe. And
Right.
so and I remember thinking, well, this will be great when I travel, because when I travel for work, which at the time I was doing a lot,
Right.
I want to bring like a pair of shoes that I wear, outside of the gym, and then have to switch into a pair of shoes in the gym. And I don't want to walk around with my nanos on looking like an asshole, And so it's like, these shoes, I can look like an adult, and also I can train in them. And
I always make fun of Jay because he's like anybody who's going to you just know that I just like to make fun of Jay. So this has nothing to do with anybody.
You got to tell me who Jay is too. This poor guy.
Ackerman. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He always wears jeans and tennis shoes and nanos. And I'm like, what are you 58? What are you
exactly doing? Yeah. The New Balance dad.
Yeah. Are those Velcro? What are you doing?
You get away with that with Nobles, which is
right. 100%. Like I wear mine all the time. So when this is my travel shoe, I wear it all the time. I could wear this with Lululemon pants. I could wear it with a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. So that's what I dig about Noble and their shoes, and why I have so many of them. It's like, I can wear these wherever.
Yeah, I've never owned like an actual pair of training shoes until the ones they gave me at the games.
What'd you think?
This is not a shot at Noble, but they're not great for what I was doing, which is a lot of standing around.
Yeah.
Right. They're less than ideal for that. But I've trained in them a couple of times. I have not done any running in them. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did we tested a workout maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I did some running on the Air Runner, meaning like I ran a total of 300 meters on the Air Runner, but that doesn't count.
It's a huge distance, man. You should be really proud.
I mean, for a CrossFitter, it's basically a marathon.
Yeah, that's right. It's almost a lap around the track.
Right.
I think they're good. They're okay for running. They're good. Okay to good, probably. Their running shoes are great for running.
So I've seen a bunch of people. I have not put a pair of those on my feet.
I like those a lot.
So I have no idea, like what those feel like. But everybody says they're super comfortable. But they've also said that like that's all you can do in them. Like don't do anything else. I wouldn't
wear them for normal CrossFit.
Right. Yeah, they're like you're just asking for a broken ankle. But so they gave us those black and white ones, and then they came with I don't have them in here. No, yeah. They came with some like red shoelaces. So I just swapped those out.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Well, then people are like, oh, you're trying to get noticed. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, I play basketball. I'm like, if I put these laces on, it kind of reminds me of the Jordan 11s, like the patent leather black with that black, white, red combo. And I'm like, that's what it reminds me of. Like that's
I'm trying to be MJ, baby.
Right. Like that's great.
Obviously.
Speaking of which, my wife's parents were here. They just left this morning, but they brought every time they come, they bring a bunch of shit that I don't want. Right? It's just like, hey, take all this stuff that we found in our garage, and I'm like, I don't want that. Right?
Thank
yeah.
you.
And but she pulled out a bunch of pictures. She had like old pictures of Jordan playing against Cleveland, like way back in the day, like courtside seats, MJ. I was like, keep that, like Dude, that. That's great.
That is great. So, hang that up.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that was a nice tangent. So let's I don't want to say talk shop, but so I just got my box yesterday. Anyway, it was yesterday. I was finishing an onboarding for somebody, and the guy literally walked in to hand me the box.
That timing, man.
I was like, that was a special order from Dave. I was like, well done. And I was like, so we give like a shaker bottle, some stickers, handwritten card, and all that kind of stuff to kind of like welcome people to the community. And Cassidy has this thing now where he's just like, he'll say it, and it's just like really funny voice. He's like, you're one of us now. And it's like almost to the point where we're like, we will do the initiation ceremony later this evening.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but the FedEx guy walked in to hand it to me. I was like, and hang out for one more second. So I unpacked it, and I was like, and you get this. And he was like, holy shit, $100. So, so if you're a gym owner and you're not doing this, you're a dummy. You're a dumb dummy. Right. So tell us about this initiative and like why you guys did it.
Yeah, man. So you know the backstory. So I'll try to be quick for everybody who doesn't. But last year, at the height of the COVID chaos, we did an initiative, O2 and a few of our brand partners, called Stay for May, and that worked really, really well. And it was it was one of the few things in my career that I've been a part of that was just such a big win for everybody involved. The
Right.
gym owners got a lot out of it, the gym members got a lot out of it, and the brands involved got a lot out of it too. And that was rooted in a simple but pretty powerful promise, which was that O2 and Born Primitive and a couple other of our brand partners, we would each kick in a $25 gift card to our websites.
Mm-hmm.
So combined among 4 brands, $100 total. And we would offer that to every CrossFitter in America, as long as they kept their gym membership active
Mm-hmm.
in the month of May. So that was the promise. It was called Stay for May. We announced it at the end of April.
Was it just America?
It was just America.
Okay.
Because O2 only ships to America.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right now, anyway.
Right. Okay.
But we kept it continental US, and it was a huge success, man. I mean, we had gyms telling us that it was more than anyone had ever done for them ever. It kept them from throwing in the towel. We had gym members, wanting to make sure that their gym was on board and could qualify. And
right.
When the dust settled, we had just over 2,500 gyms participate in that campaign and 60,000 CrossFitters. So it was really, really impactful.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
That's really cool.
And so it was such a big benefit to everybody. Like gym owners got to award their members with a free incentive to keep their memberships through a difficult month.
Right.
Gym members got a incentive towards brands that they already know and love, or maybe wanted to try one, whatever.
Right.
And then the brands got highly qualified, subsidized, but highly qualified trial by an audience that's very valuable in the gym member crowd. And so to give everybody an example, not everybody redeemed their gift cards of the 60,000, but a lot of them did. And we saw record revenue from on our end, at least, from those gift cards alone, such that we knew that it was a good business decision as well,
Right. And which is somebody might be hearing this and be like, well, this is a business strategy. I'm like, yes,
it had to be
the end, right? Period.
Yeah.
But
yes,
but right. But it works for this reason, right? So we talk about this ad nauseum on the podcast, and it's something that is a staple of what we teach in Affiliate U, which is, what is retention? What does it mean? And how do you execute it? Mm-hmm. And this strategy that you guys rolled out is a retention strategy, like Stay for May, just as built into the name, Stay for May. But then the way it's executed is like kind of give this, get that, right? So like giving them this gift card, and then I in turn get retention, and I could parlay that into member referral programs and why good referral programs work, and why if they're designed, incorrectly, that they don't work. Most people don't have one that works. But we've talked about this before, like retention. And what I think is cool about what you're doing now is this, it just keeps going, which is amazing, is retention is a series of things that would lend itself to creating a relationship with somebody long-term, and therefore they would stay, right? So everybody considers retention to be like this one thing where, okay, if I send this email or I send this text at this time, they'll stay, or I do something else and they'll stay. And that's just not how it works. It is a continual interaction over time that creates a relationship. And what I think is cool about this is we've been, playing with this for years at this point, but this is one more thing on the front end combined with all the things that we do on the back end that would lend itself to high retention, right? So if somebody joins the gym, a lot of people have complaints about high price point coming in on the front. If you're going to charge for foundation and then their membership on top of that could be $350, $400 depending on where you are. Okay. I don't know if that's high or not. That depends on the purchaser. But the point is this: if they get great training and I loop in a bunch of other stuff like an in-body scan, and then I give them a shaker bottle and some stickers and a handwritten note, and then they get $100 gift card, well, that offsets all of that based on the consumer's perceived value of these things that they get. And they're like, oh, they didn't just take this and run. Like, I got a lot for this. And that's why I think it's really, really cool. So I was like really stoked to get those the other day, because we're always trying to figure out like what else can we put on the front end to create like an overwhelming experience for people when they walk in the door.
You know, I think it's so important to find things like O2 is a business, and we're an upstart, which means like we're hustling just as hard, if not a little bit harder than a lot of other small businesses sometimes.
Right.
So we have to find ways to grow, and we have to find ways to sell our stuff, because that's really why we exist. But the stuff that gets me most excited is when we can find those ways in a way that provides a positive impact to our partners.
Right.
And undoubtedly, universally, inarguably, this initiative has been a positive impact to our partners, both the brand partners like others like Born Primitive and RPM, our gym partners, the gym member community, and us. You know, I'm not giving out a bunch of stuff for free, and I'm not sending out, you know, $100 bills because I don't have, you know, I'm not that company. I don't have that. But
even companies that do have that don't do that.
And I don't think it's you know, I think there's certainly a time and a place for that, but you know, companies have to grow, and companies have to do the stuff that makes them companies. Otherwise they're nonprofits, you know, and we're a company. But I think we've done a good job of growing in a way that also benefits our community and our ecosystem. And this is a good example, you know. So what we've done is as you know, we've basically taken all the success and the learnings that we had out of Stay for May, and have now taken that into post-pandemic or close to it, 2021. And
are you in on something that I don't know about? Is this going to end?
I don't know, man.
Does everybody know it's going to end? Everybody, you heard it here, right? First, we're coming up on the end.
I've stopped trying to predict the future.
I just got so excited because somebody said it. They're like, "It's almost over." I'm like, "Holy shit, it's almost over!"
Awesome. Yeah, whatever this is, whatever phase this is, but whatever it is, it's not a 2020 thing anymore. It's a 2021 thing,
right?
And we're pretty proud. We've always been pretty proud of you know, the way that we operate and our relationships with our wholesale community and the support that we give. What we've rolled out and what you just got in the mail is the thing that I'm most proud of, which is we've now said, okay, we're going to offer every gym, whether they sell O2 or not, we're going to offer, if it's a gym and if they're independently owned,
right,
they're eligible, you can sign up for unlimited new member gift cards to award to your new members.
Right.
Whether it's 2 a month or 20 a month, I don't care. But we will we've got this package, we'll physically mail you this package. Inside has these physical gift cards.
Yep.
And it's good. It's $100 towards O2, Born Primitive, RPM, Four Sigmatic, and Peoria. And like we've got, I want to say it's close to 1,500 gyms enrolled in the program at this point.
I'm going to say this again. If you are not doing this, you are a fool.
Dude, that's the response that we've gotten. It's a no-brainer.
You're a dummy. I felt dumb last week when I talked to you because like I knew it was a thing and I just get busy sometimes. And I'm like, I was telling you, somebody at the games was trying to explain it to me. I was like, you're doing a horrendous job of trying to explain to me what this thing is. I don't know, but it sounds like they give me some free shit. So I'll follow up with Dave about it. But then you told me that I was like, oh God, I'm an idiot. Like, why am I not doing this right now? And then like a couple days later, I was like, done.
Universally the response that we've gotten.
Yeah.
You know? And now I'm just like, we just need to get this in the hands of as many people as possible.
And here's what's important, right? Like, obviously, it's mutually beneficial to everybody, right? Like, obviously, it's a business play on your end, but you're giving to the community, and you're giving, which I think is important, which is also how a good referral should be designed. By the way, so I'm gonna let everybody on a little tip, right? So we talked about discounts extensively. The referrals work when the member gives the referral. Right. You're talking about social proof, right? This is the whole idea, which is social proof. Like this person gives that person the referral. They're like, this place is good to go. You should come there. Oh, and because you're my boy or you're my girl, like they're going to hook you up when you come in on day one.
Yeah.
right? That's how a good referral works. And this is the same variation of that, which is like, hey, these are people that we trust. This is some good stuff. Go ahead and use it or don't. But the point is like, that's up to you to use that. That's what I think is really cool about that.
Yeah. And it's to that point too. Word of mouth, I think, is so important. And I also think a certain level of buy-in on the member side is pretty important to retention too. And that this is something that I was telling another affiliate owner about this program at the games, and he got super excited about it, not for the reasons that I thought. He got super excited about it because he's like, yeah, dude, like I always know that I've got a member and that I've got a sticky member who's going to stay with me for a long time. Once they start, wearing nanos,
they're wearing the costume. They're wearing the costume,
drinking the drinks, sporting the gear. Like if they bought a RPM rope and are drinking O2, I've got it.
Done. That's it.
And so now it's like, this is that. This subsidizes that.
Correct. And again, to lay some nuggets on people, that is part of, again, something that we teach, which is like integrating them into the community. Nobody wants to be the odd man out. Nobody wants to be the one wearing the Nike t-shirt when everybody else is wearing Noble or Reebok or Lulu. Like nobody wants to be that person. I don't care how you feel about Nike. You walk in a room with 200 other people wearing Noble, like chances are you're walking out there wearing some Noble shit. Cause like, I just want to assimilate. I want to be accepted by the crowd. And this is a really good way to do that. So whether you give them, that's why we give people a shaker bottle and we give them stickers and stuff like that to bring them into the fold and be like, hey, listen, you're not the new guy. If you could slap a t-shirt on somebody one day, the first day, guaranteed they will wear it to their first class. Like take it to Vegas, bet on it. You'll win a ton of money.
The stronger the community, the more important that is too,
right.
Like this was just a loose community of people that saw each other every now and then and sometime work out together.
Right.
Maybe it wouldn't matter as much, but for CrossFit, which is all about community.
Correct.
Everybody's back to the gym. It's like, that's a big deal. You want to assimilate immediately. Yeah.
Particularly in something that has like such a high barrier for entry with regards to like perceived ability.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Which is like, I shouldn't be doing this as like, hey, first step is just like, just put this t-shirt on so that you just look like everybody else. And then you just feel like you should be doing it,
yeah.
So that's why I think that's really cool is that like, and I agree with you. Like think about the number of people that like who come into the gym, like, should I get special shoes? And I'm like, no, like you don't need special shoes. I know the rest of these crazy people in here are all wearing the same shit, but you don't need special shoes. Just come in, work out. It'll be fine. So that I think is the really cool part about that, which is like, oh, I can look like the rest of the group now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's right. Wear the costume, drink the drink.
Yeah. Wear the costume, dude. So do you guys have plans to just keep this going?
We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. And at this point, you test something with 100 people and you've got a pretty good idea of how it's going to go. You test something with 1,000 people and you've got a really good idea.
Right.
And we're beyond the 1,000 people mark as far as how many gyms we've got enrolled. And I have a really good idea of how this is going to go. And there's no reason for gyms not to do this. And there's no reason for us not to get this in the hands of as many gyms as possible.
So I don't have my card. So who are the other people? So it's you guys, Born Primitive.
Us, Born Primitive, RPM, Four Sigmatic, which is supplement company that we really like.
I put their, I don't even know if this is correct. So I make coffee every morning then I put the Shroom Tech in the coffee, which I think is like a quadruple dose of coffee.
That's meta, man. That's intense.
Is it?
That's it. I'm into it. I've done that before.
Maybe that's why my wife is always looking at me. She was like, "Why can't you pay attention?" I'm like, "Probably because I just had 500, so much coffee that it would knock a horse out."
Sometimes I will drink a lot of coffee and it starts to have the reverse effect. Like,
I can't think about anything. I'm like, why do I feel like I have ADHD?
Systematic is like the antidote to that. The antidote.
I love it. Like, and I don't even like mushrooms, to be very candid with you, but I do like the lion mane one. It has like, it almost looks like turmeric.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I think that one is fantastic. So like I'll put it, I'll get my coffee mug and then I'll put that in there first. And then I'll put like a heavy cream in there. And then I'll make the coffee on top of that. It's like killer.
I'm a fan, and I am biased because over the years I've gotten to know one of their founders really well, but I was a fan before I met him. That's how I met him,
Yeah.
And it's just gotten better because I know that they're great people behind that company too, and they make great products. And I'm a believer in, the benefits of adaptogens and sort of the
I believe in all that stuff.
Approach to nutrition as medicine
and aliens. I believe in those too.
I believe in. How could you not? The universe is so big.
The Pentagon confirmed it. Everybody just glossed right over that because COVID's here. They're like, and aliens are here, and you're like, fuck that, COVID's here, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That was a kind of a big announcement. Everybody's like, whatever.
So funny. What makes news these days? I'll tell you. But it's a good company, and then Peori is the other company that's.
Oh, that's right.
That's part of it too, and that's another, like, they're a supplement company. I take their stuff every day. It's great, high quality, clean protein and supplements. I use their fish oil and magnesium, and it's good stuff.
That's a rebrand, is it not?
It is a rebrand. So
stronger, faster, healthier.
For you and I, and those who've been in the space
way back in the day,
used to be Pure Pharma. Remember?
Oh, Pure Pharma. That's right. Yeah. The stronger, faster, healthier was same color scheme. It was like a white and a green. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Pure Pharma. That's right. Okay.
Their founder is a guy named Oliver. He used to be on the L1 staff actually. So he was,
Oliver. What was his Oliver who?
Amdrup, AMDRUP.
Oh, he's not from the States, right?
He's Danish.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah.
Tall, blonde, beautiful Danish guy.
That's how the Danes work, man.
Every Danes. Yeah, exactly. 100%. But also just another good human being. So we've assembled a really strong collection of brands that are run by really good people.
That's cool. I dig that. Yeah, so check those out. But if you've not tried the Four Sigmatic, you should. Like it's like I don't even know how it ended up in our house. I just played around with it one day. I was like, oh, this is a thing now. This is happening.
Everybody who's listening and hasn't tried it, just send an email to jims@drinko2.com. Jims@drinko2. That's the letter O and the number 2.com. And we'll get a new member gift card package out that'll include 25 of those physical gift cards to award to your new members, and use one for yourself and grab I think it's free. I think the mushroom coffee is only $20.
Worth it. I don't care.
So grab a
based on the amount of coffee that CrossFitters drink, it's worth it. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then order you some O2 CBD drinks too, by the way.
Dude, they're no longer for sale. The CBD has been discontinued. Breaking news. But although that was news as of last year. I don't know where you've been.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't think I've had any. I don't think I've had any of that one in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
I think I drank it all. Like that, we didn't even sell that stuff when
it was great stuff, man. Not to get on a tangent. I mean, first, anything that we make, I'm biased, but it's going to be pretty good. Yeah. Second, the CBD drink, I think, hands down, best CBD drink on the market, hands down.
There was a peach,
pear, and pomegranate guava.
The peach was off the charts good.
We don't make them anymore because it's too damn expensive to sell a CBD product online. That's why. The demand was great. It was great. But every time that I sold a can of anything online, when we had CBD,
right,
it cost me twice as much because of the payment processing complications associated with having a website that sells CBD products.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's a big thing. So our transaction fees went from like 3.5% to 8%.
Oh no!
Everything that, not just the CBD drink, but everything that we sold online.
Oh no, absolutely not.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
it's like because when our online sales took off last year, then it was like we can't do this anymore.
You can't forfeit 5%.
Yeah, not on like everything.
Kidding me? No, that's crazy. That's some business's full margin.
I know.
But I found out a lot of interesting stuff about just the CBD cannabis world. Like I just found out recently. Because I have a friend here who is starting a dispensary, and he was saying they cannot put, which I don't even understand how this works. They cannot put money in federal banks.
The bank, yeah. Yes.
I'm like, there's an uncharted territory of weed dispensary robberies that, it's just, they're just carrying.
Dude,
but then I had so many questions. I'm like, how are they filing money? Like what, like how much revenue are they, like, who knows? Like what is happening right now? I mean, it's like, you could just have a warehouse full of cash because you can't keep it in the bank.
It's the Wild West, man. And I got a little bit of exposure into that when we were selling CBD. Again, there are no psychoactive effects of CBD.
Right. It's not THC, it's CBD. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing is according to the laws that be. But I moved to Colorado recently, and I noticed, like many new transplants.
You're in Colorado now?
I'm in Colorado now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So from Ohio to Colorado, and going from Ohio to Colorado was a bit of a surprise in terms of housing prices because housing prices are through the roof here, and
I could have told you that.
Housing prices are through the roof everywhere. But part of the reason why it's extra crazy in Colorado is because a lot of people are in the marijuana industry out here, and because they can't put their money in banks, they instead buy houses, and they effectively put their money in the housing market. So if I've got
that makes sense.
$500,000 in cash, I can just turn that into a house and see that appreciate.
That must be nice.
That's my bank.
All right. That's it. We're starting a weed company.
Yeah, exactly. Let it known.
It's all cash business.
500,000 cash.
Hey, back in my day, but when I was growing up, that was called illegal. Like you couldn't just run a cash business there. Like that's called tax evasion. Yeah, that's I just found that out recently. I was just like, my mind still hurts trying to figure that out. I'm like, wait, I just on so many levels, I don't understand that. Like you legalized it, but now you don't really get to reap the tax benefits of it. Like I'm talking about the government, which is a different story, but I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
It's nuts, dude.
Like based on your track history of trying to rob everybody all the time, I'm like, I don't even understand. Like this is a really poor robbery. It's a poorly executed robbery that you guys are doing right now.
A lot of opportunity on the table there for sure.
But yeah, Colorado was like leading the way because they've been doing that for 10 years, probably at least.
Yeah, at least I think.
Which is funny because they took a lot of the tax money in Colorado in the first couple of years they did it and put it into like anti-drug campaigns. It's like, oh, the irony.
Majority, right? I think.
Yeah, something crazy. Like I was like, put that shit in schools, man. Like make new roads. Like stop taking drug money and then putting it into anti-drug money. Like this is ridiculous.
Totally. There's so much opportunity there.
But anyway, that's cool, man. So what else is on the horizon for you guys? What else you got going on?
Man, that's depends on the week.
We're in Colorado. Where in Colorado are you?
We're in Boulder.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like, is there another city in Colorado other than Boulder?
There's Denver, but it's not nearly as cool.
Right.
Actually, I like Denver. I like Denver a lot. It's just, I'll sound like such a hippie. I've wanted to get closer to nature, and closer to the mountains.
I want to stare at trees all day. Yeah.
And I've got a pretty good view, man.
That's awesome.
And that's what I wanted, and it's worth it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we're rolling out the new member gift card program pretty aggressively right now. What else? We probably, I don't know where we're going to end up as far as the events circuit goes. But
are you guys trying to get on some events?
I don't think so. Not the rest of this year.
Got it.
Thing, man. It's just, it's such a gamble.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what I think. It just matters what actually happens.
Right.
So I'm trying not to gamble too much. But we're continuing to double down on gyms. I mean, that's a great point of focus right now. We're more bullish than ever on the gym community, particularly this gym community, and people wanting to work out with other people and wanting to be a part of a community. Mm-hmm. And there's no better community, at least that I know, than CrossFit. So we've got some really cool, very easy to join new gym offers for affiliates that don't yet sell O2 or gyms that don't yet sell O2 that would like to try it. So we're pushing pretty aggressively on that front. We've had a lot of success there recently, And it goes back to my belief that still there's no better place to buy O2 than at a gym for a drink that, is super high hydration, super low, if any, calories or sugar, and just tastes really good. Like the perfect place to get it is after you work out at a gym. So
I agree.
Front pretty heavily. And then
what other genres of fitness or sport are you guys like focusing on, if at all?
So our main focus is CrossFit. And I still think that that'll remain our main focus for a long time. Mm-hmm. That said, O2 as a brand can extend and does extend beyond CrossFit. And so we found a good amount of adoption in kind of where you would expect, right? Like boot camps, places like Orange Theory, some like power yoga types of environments. Okay. It's the same type of people doing those things as it is doing CrossFit. Right. And those people care about what they put inside their bodies. They read labels, which is good for us. They have an aversion to Gatorade, which we're basically like the anti-Gatorade.
Right.
And they dig O2 for those reasons.
I like it. I like it a lot. So give everybody the website again if they want to get this.
Easiest thing to do is email gyms@drinko2.com. Just put new member gift card program in the subject, and we'll basically take care of the rest. And then folks can learn more about our wholesale program. Go to drinko2.com/wholesale.
Cool.
And we'll hook it up.
Yeah, I think you should absolutely do the gift card thing. You're a dummy if you don't. It's free, and again, it's a retention tool. But more importantly, and as we get to do more and more stuff, I think it becomes more and more important to really pay attention who you, I don't say partner with, but like who you do business with. I think that's a super important deal. Like I do like O2, but more importantly, like, we've hit it off in the past, and just, I think you're a good dude, and I think you're doing all this for the right reasons, which is why I have you back on the podcast. Because I think a lot of what you're doing is really predicated on the success of the affiliate rather than trying to push your drink down people's throats. And I like that. I appreciate it. And it just so happens to be that the drinks are really damn good too. So I personally appreciate I've told you this before, but I'll tell you again. I personally appreciate what you have done and continue to do for the affiliate space. I think it's really cool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys got coming up in the future, man. And I hope to run into you soon. I was hoping you were going to be at the Rogue Invitational, but
I know, man.
Next year.
We're not going to have a booth for reasons I already mentioned, but
we're not either.
Maybe I'll fly in with a cup of coffee.
Bro, we're going to be doing, it's going to be an extravaganza for that, whatever 4 days we're going to be there. It's going to be good. So if you get a chance, it's a hop, skip, and a jump from Boulder.
I might. Don't tempt me with a good time.
I will. All right, brother. As always, I really appreciate this, man. Guys, check out O2, check out those gift cards, check out the wholesale program. If you got questions, reach out to them. The customer service is amazing. They've always been super quick to respond to anything they ever had. And it just feels good to give, a new member in your gym $100 gift card, and they won't be upset about it either. So check it out. Dave, I always appreciate it, brother. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, man.
So you never miss an episode of the podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel and on all major podcasting platforms at Best Hour of Their Day. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being a part of the best hour of our day. See you next time.